New legislation in one state will allow landlords to deny tenants with fake service animals. I'm Tony, and this is Real Estate Investing and Landlord News. All right, so I have an interesting article for you today. It's coming out of the state of Iowa. Now, I live in Omaha, Nebraska, which borders the state of Iowa, so I spend a lot of time there. I don't own any rental properties there yet, but I have considered buying rental properties there, specifically in the Council Bluffs area. So this could actually affect me at some point in time. So the law that they're proposing actually cracks down on a bunch of these scammer tenants, right? There's a bunch of scammer tenants out there right now who have fake service animals or fake emotional assistance animals. And you know what? This is a big problem for some landlords because they just don't want pets in their units. And that's what these are. These are pets that they have falsely labeled as service animals or falsely labeled as emotional support animals using some print off that they've gotten off of the internet, right? And I've got a big problem with this because, you know what? Animals, they do cause damage. They cause a lot of damage, like cats, they will spray the walls. There will be dog hair or pet hair located in the carpets. There's scratches all over the place. There's a certain odor that comes with having pets. And I know this because I own a dog. I've had many pets throughout my life, and I accept the fact that this is what happens, right? Because I own my house. But for those landlords who don't want animals in their properties, I understand completely. Now, I do allow pets in my properties. However, I require pet security deposit, and I did require pet rent in some of my other properties. So, you know what? If you want to be able to charge these things, keep in mind that a lot of state laws do not allow you to charge any additional security deposit or any additional pet rent if the person has a service animal. So yeah, it's really a scam that a lot of tenants are using in order to get these pets in there without having to pay anything additional. So, that's why I'm glad that the state of Iowa, at least, is cracking down on the practice. So before I get into the article, go ahead, hit the like, subscribe button, maybe leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. So do you have any tenants in your units that have emotional support animals or service animals? And what do you think of the type of legislation that is going to require tenants to have a lot more documentation in order to have these animals up in their units? Okay, do you think this is going to actually help with anything, or do you think that the tenants will still be able to scam and get these pets up in their units by faking? I don't know if it's going to help or not. I think it might discourage some of those people who were planning on trying to scam the system before, but I think those who are really, just intent on doing this, they're still going to be able to get away with it, okay? So anyway, let's get into this article. This article is coming from westerniowatoday.com, and it says, new legislation allows landlords to request proof for assistance animals. Let's get into it. A new bill modifying the way landlords handle requests from tenants with disabilities seeking to keep their therapy animals now awaits Governor Reynolds' signature. Under this bill, landlords can require tenants to provide documentation of their disability and need for assistance. Tenants are not obligated to disclose the nature of their disability, only to provide sufficient information to support their need for an animal. So yeah, this will require tenants to say, hey, you know what? I do need an animal. And you know what? For people who are like blind and need a seeing eye dog, or people who are suffering from severe PTSD after serving in the military, who really do need a support animal, I am 100% in support of it. I'm 100% in favor of it. And those people will have the necessary documentation. However, the people who are scamming, okay, the ones who are going online, printing off some sort of thing saying that, oh, I get an emotional support animal, but this person at the same time has no diagnosed conditions that require them to have an emotional support animal, or they have the emotional support animal, they have a certificate, but the certificate is faked somehow. Well, you know what? Those people, they shouldn't be allowed to take advantage of the situation and get that animal up into the unit. So yeah, it looks like the rest of the article is going on about some other laws within Iowa. So, for now, let's just say that in my personal opinion, right, this is the sort of measure that we need to be seen being passed throughout the rest of the country. So, like I was saying before, I do charge pet rent. I do require pet security deposit for any animals that are up in the unit because of the additional damage that is required by them. But when we're talking about emotional support animals or service animals, then we can't charge that. So what do I do? What do I do when I'm getting all this additional damage to my unit due to these animals? And the only thing you can do is go after the regular security deposit and charge them, bill them for any additional after the move out. And a lot of the times you're just not going to get that. You're not going to get that at all. So it sucks. It is what it is. I think that a lot of the laws, they had good intentions when they passed this law, because there are people who do have a true need for these types of service animals, but good intentions, oftentimes they trample all over property rights. And we've seen that happen again and again when it comes to new laws and new rules and regulations throughout the entire country. So let me know what you think in the comments section down below of the sort of law that makes it a little bit more proof is required by the tenant in order to get these animals living in your unit.